Opponents of U.S. President Donald Trump's administration took to the streets of communities large and small across the U.S. on Saturday, decrying what they see as threats to the nation's democratic ideals. According to Associated Press, aerial footage from a Denver-based station, KMGH, shows a huge crowd gathering in front of the Colorado State Capitol building in Denver, Colorado. Elsewhere, protests were planned outside Tesla car dealerships against billionaire Trump advisor Elon Musk and his role in downsizing the federal government. Others organized more community service events, such as food drives, teach-ins and volunteering at local shelters. The protests come just 2 weeks after similar nationwide protests against the Trump administration drew thousands to the streets across the country. Organizers say they're protesting what they call Trump's civil rights violations and constitutional violations, including efforts to deport scores of immigrants and to scale back the federal government by firing thousands of government workers and effectively shutter entire agencies. Protests against President Donald Trump's administration are once again taking place in communities across the U.S. According to Associated Press, organizers of Saturday's events say they're protesting against what they view as the Republican administration's constitutional and civil rights violations. Some of the protests are drawing on themes from the American Revolutionary War, as Saturday marks 250 years since the battles of Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts launched the conflict. Protests were also planned outside Tesla car dealerships against billionaire Trump advisor Elon Musk, while still others organized more community service events, such as food drives, teach-ins and volunteering at local shelters. In Washington, Bob Fasick said he came out to the rally by the White House out of concern about threats to constitutionally protected due process rights, as well as Social Security and other federal safety net programs. The Trump administration, among other things, has moved to shutter Social Security Administration field offices, cut funding for government health programs and scale back protections for transgender people. I cannot sit still knowing that if I don't do anything and everybody doesn't do something to change this, that the world that we collectively are leaving for the little children, for our neighbors, is simply not one that I would want to live, said the 76-year-old retired federal employee from Springfield, Virginia. Alex Hobson traveled to Washington from North Carolina to attend the rally. "What really pushed us to come to D.C. right now is the no due process for people like Kilmar Garcia," said Hobson. "It just sets a really, really scary precedent if we can just send anybody we want overseas and not give them any due process, and then once they're there we just say, oh, we can't do nothing about it, oh, we messed up, sorry, oh well. That's to me extremely scary, he added. The U.S. Supreme Court has ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the U.S. from a notorious Salvadoran prison, rejecting the White House's claim that it couldn't retrieve Abrego Garcia after mistakenly deporting him. Trump administration officials have pushed back against bringing him back, arguing it is up to El Salvador. Protesters also gathered near the Naval Observatory, the official residence of Vice President J.D. Vance and his family.
There is also this convergence of not just developing
Medicare, Social Security, veterans.
Dignity. How about some dignity?
Yeah, just overall respect. I mean, if we're talking about the things that Trump needs to stop, like why are we in war with our allies? Why are we attacking Canada? This is ludicrous. This is at the point of what is going on.
And liberation. Remember to fight for life, fight for humanity, and fight for a future free of.
What really pushed us to come to DC right now is the no due process for people like Kilmar Garcia. It just sets a really, really scary precedent if we can just send anybody we want overseas and not give them any due process, and then once they're there we just say, oh, we can't do nothing about it. Oh, we messed up, sorry, oh well. That's, to me, extremely scary, extremely scary.
It's part of a long-term billionaire agenda to erase the disabled.
Yeah, it feels really empowering. I think it's great to see people out all over, not just here in the nation's capital. Like my parents out in Wisconsin are out in the street every week. I think you're seeing people from all walks of life who care about different things, but ultimately we care about our country and we care about our democracy, and it's inspiring to see everybody out here. I hope it continues. I think protests are meant to be disruptive. We say we're in the streets, but we're in a park. It'd be good to see even more activism. I think we gotta really stand up. The time is now. Democracy is really fragile. It can. I've seen it around the world, how quickly a democracy can crumble, and I really hope it won't happen here.
Endorsing budget plans that propose significant cuts to Medicaid, potentially. Now, these lawsuits are backed by far-right think tanks.
right? And we know that at the heart of that.
I'm 76 years old, and I cannot sit still knowing that if I don't do anything and everybody doesn't do something to change this, that the world that we collectively are leaving for the little children, for our neighbors, is simply not one that I would want to live in. And I just can't.